Mighty is the engine that drives progress. Mightier still is the need to continuously innovate. Long dependent on fossil fuels, governments and industries are casting an inquisitive eye on alternative sources of energy. This interest is spurred on by the work put in by forward-looking individuals.
Alter Energy Systems Inc. is a corporation that I founded focused towards alternative energies. Main focus right now is a technology called straight vegetable oil. And it's a conversion kit that we install on diesel engines to allow them to run on used cooking oil. The main compelling reason is for sustainability. Even the petroleum companies will tell you that petroleum is limited. It doesn't regenerate by itself. Once the oil wells are dried up, that's it, that's the end. And what are we doing to prepare for it?
A diesel engine uses the heat produced by compression to create a controlled explosion of injected fuel internally. Air is initially introduced into the combustion chamber and is compressed in order to heat it up to 550 degrees centigrade. At about the top of this compression stroke, fuel is injected directly. The heat from the compressed air ignites the fuel. The resulting rapidly expanding gases drive the piston downward, supplying power to the crankshaft.
Originally, the diesel engine was really designed by Rudolf Diesel, the inventor, to run on vegetable oil, primarily peanut oil. But during the time, petroleum was discovered in abundance and became very, very cheap. So that became the primary source of fuel.
This process of burning petrodiesel emits carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur oxide, nitrous oxide, and hydrocarbons into our atmosphere. Cumulatively, these and other harmful greenhouse gases are raising the Earth's temperature at an alarming rate. Reducing vehicle emissions is a positive step in offsetting the impacts of human activities on the climate. The question now is how to adapt existing technologies to run on more eco-friendly and sustainable forms of fuel, such as vegetable oil.
There are two properties of vegetable oil that make it difficult to burn in a diesel engine. Number one is the high viscosity. Masyado siyang malapot. It's too thick. It doesn't flow very freely through the fuel lines. And by the time it reaches the fuel filter, it doesn't flow at all. It gets stuck up. The second is a property called the flash point temperature. In layman's terms, the temperature at which the fuel will combust or burn. What we simply do is use heat from the engine. We recover that heat and then we use it to preheat the fuel. So this is the fuel filter. It's what you call a hot water jacketed heat exchanger. So if you follow this red line, the hot water comes from the radiator. So it's already heated by the engine and enters the hot water jacket. So it engulfs the fuel filter, therefore heating the fuel. So your hot oil will have the same viscosity as diesel at room temperature. After that, the fuel leaves the fuel filter and goes into here, which is the electrical heater. If we increase the temperature, we bring it closer to flash point. By the time it reaches the combustion chamber of the diesel engine, it's easily combustible now. And then here in the trunk, we'll see that it's made of fiberglass, and the white part is the part where we have a compartment for diesel. And the red part is where the vegetable oil is contained. And inside, there's another heat exchanger which heats the fuel.
One source for this recovered fuel is our very own kitchens. Used cooking oil, which is normally dumped down the drain, is collected and filtered to be reused in straight vegetable oil engines. This greatly reduces the pollution and clogging in city sewers, which empty out onto rivers, lakes, and eventually into the sea.
We want to provide that service of making it hassle-free. They just come to our gas station, our fuel station, just as they would to any fuel station in Metro Manila. So I was trying to find out where this technology would fit. My criteria for choosing a market was where would it benefit the customers the most. where would it make the biggest social impact or environmental impact? And when I looked at the market, I thought the jeepneys were the best candidates.
20 years na ako sa jeep. Nagmamaneho ng jeep. Tapos dito sa beds sa kwan, mantika. Bali 3 years na. Malaking bagay yung kwan, yung mantika na sa diesel. Kasi yung diesel, pagka kwan, mahal yung diesel, yung vegetable oil, yung per liter lang. Pero parehas ang konsumo.
There are many types of vegetable oils. There's coconut oil, there's palm, peanut oil, there's soya, sesame oil, there's olive oil. There's so many different types of edible or vegetable oils. Each one would produce a different performance. Coconut is actually slightly better than diesel, has higher heating value than diesel. So we get better mileage, more horsepower, same torque. So performance-wise, it doesn't really make a difference. Fuel prices keep going up. Diba? And then, if we can find a domestically sourced fuel that's renewable, that's clean, that won't pollute their lungs because they're the ones who are first affected.
Busok ng diesel, talaga nakakasama sa kwan. Pero to, pagka kwan, amoy prito.
There's a lot of talk about global warming, but how many of us are actually doing something about it? This fuel is carbon neutral. We don't contribute to greenhouse gases. According to the Kyoto Protocol, so if it's renewable, it's carbon neutral. If we can convert all of them, we can make it so compelling for them to convert and use cooking oil as a fuel, and we can bring down air pollution, then imagine the benefit to millions of people. Okay, this is another application of our Veggie oil car system. What you see here is a 1957 Plymouth Savoy, a vintage American car. So you can imagine it was a gas guzzler. It's been sitting in my friend's garage for a long time. He inherited it from his grandfather. And it's actually a family project right now. They're all excited to get it up and running. And now we're changing the engine. We're expecting a lot of power. When needed, it's there, but at the same time, we have the fuel efficiency of a Japanese diesel engine. One of my big dreams, and you can call me crazy, but I want our country to be fully self-sufficient from an energy standpoint, that we don't have to import petroleum or technologies, that it's here, homegrown. And with this technology that I have right now, it becomes possible.
Possibilities fuel the imagination. Imagination is what drives innovation and change. The road to a cleaner and greener future may be obscured by smog right now, but with the efforts of dreamers like Chips, brighter days are just around the corner.